Hi, first grade. Today's question is, how is art used in everyday life? There are many different color families. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. The secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. We've also learned about warm and cool colors. So who could raise their hand and tell us what the cool colors are? We will be focusing on the cool colors that are found in Monet's paintings, blues, greens, and purples today. Hi, first grade. So today we're going to be talking about Claude Monet. He's an artist that is no longer alive. You can think of his name kind of like money, but you say it fancy, Monet, and then that's how you can remember him. So he was known for having this amazing garden, and he would paint from his garden outside, and he created the same bridges, beautiful flowers over and over again just because he loved the outside and he loved nature. So we're going to be inspired by that, but this is our construction unit. Construction can mean so many different things. Construction means building. We're going to be including a bridge over ours. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create a watercolor background. We're going to add some little lilies, whatever you want to add to your garden. And then you're going to, next time, take some piece of paper and you're going to construct a bridge, which will be pretty cool. Hopefully you walked in with a Sharpie and a piece of paper. Give me a thumbs up if you have both of those things. All right, awesome. Now at the very bottom, I want you to write your name. I'm going to write Mr. Bothell because that's my name. And then also write your class code. Your class code is the day of the week, your grade level, which is 1, first grade, and then your table number. So go ahead and get that here, and I will write that on the board so I can help you out. All right, you can close your Sharpie at this time and put that away. I'm going to pick that up in a moment. You guys are going to be using crayons to do a wax resist. So whatever you do with crayon today, and then you put watercolor over, will stay. You're going to fill up this whole paper with color so that we can be ready to add some bridges next time. Inside your bag, I want you to find maybe some different color greens. And yes, you can share with your partner if you would like. Give me a thumbs up once you found some greens. Greens are part of the cool color family. We're going to be using primarily cool colors today. I want you guys to draw some lily pads, and you're going to need to draw them hard and waxy. Hard and what? Waxy. So a lily pad generally can be an oval. It might be an oval with a little triangle cut into it, kind of like Pac-Man. Go ahead and draw yourself some lily pads. You kind of have to imagine that this is the water, and then there's all these little lily pads. You want to leave a little bit of room for your bridge. So just understand that there's going to be a bridge here, so don't draw anything that you wouldn't want covered up and be all sad about it. All right, so I drew some lily pads, but did I go hard and waxy? No, I did not. Whenever you are doing hard waxy, you need to go back in and color, baby, color. You'll feel the difference. You'll take your finger and be like, ooh, it feels nice and smooth. So go hard and waxy. Now you can spice it up a little bit. Maybe you want to do different colors of greens. Maybe I want to do this little green over here. Green lily pads down here. Now, can lily pads have flowers? Yes, they do. If you want to add some flowers to your lily pads, or if you have your own idea for your garden, is that okay? Absolutely. I'm going to give y'all, I'm going to say 4 or 5 minutes to get some amazing lily pads in, and then we'll move on to our next step. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I have some lily pads. If you need to go back in and maybe fill in some of the areas, that's okay. I'm going to show you the next 2 steps because we are going to be painting a little bit today. All right, are you listening? Okay, so before you put the crayons away, I have another option for you. Your goal is you want to create a composition, and that means the background, foreground, middle ground, for your painting. Do you want plants coming off the side? Maybe some flowers on the side. Do you want to draw the sides of the river? Maybe there's some dirt or mud. Did you want to draw some fishes jumping out of the water? I'm just going to add a little bit of detail to the sides just to make it a little bit more interesting and less boring. But now I want you to add texture to the water. This can be pretty boring if you just want to go and show me that there's water there. That's really boring. Why don't you use a texture plate, put it underneath, and then go on top with a cool color. So cool colors are blues, greens, and purple. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my goodness, Mr. Boatfield, I don't want green water. Fine, you don't have to do green water. But the cool thing about this is that we're gonna use those cool colors and go on top of it with watercolor, and it's gonna do some really cool effects. If you wanna do some white with the texture plate, that's fine. Just remember it won't show up until you get to watercolor. But I'm gonna go all over and just give this a little bit more interest, a little bit more texture, so that when I go in with my watercolor, it's gonna look amazing. Remember, I want you to use blues, greens, and purples, please. It's a very important part of this project, so I'm trusting you. Okay, so I filled it up mostly. I didn't have to do the whole thing, that's okay. When you are ready for paint, you're going to put your crayons back into the bag. Your Sharpie goes back in the box where you found it. If you borrowed a texture plate, you're gonna need to clear off your table so that you can get your painting supplies. When you're ready, I'm trusting you that you can follow the green arrows. Pick up a paper towel, a paintbrush. I would choose a big fluffy one so that you can finish, and then a paint palette. Now you and your partner can share this. You'll also find a water cup on the back counter. If you're going to pick up your items, I would set down your paintbrush, paper towel first, and then go back for the other items. All right, it's been a while since we've painted, so let's see what you guys remember. When you're ready, you should have your paintbrush, paper towel, water cup that you're sharing with your partner, and then you might be sharing your watercolor palette as well. You're gonna stick to these colors right up here. We have 2 different purples, we have a couple different blues, and then a couple different greens. You're gonna be sticking to those cool colors. Please don't go off into these other colors. We'll do those on a different day. I want you to focus on the cool colors. Capiche? Okay, good. All right, so water can be blues, it can be greens, it can also be purples. I'm just gonna do a mix-up of all of them. Whenever you're ready, you dip in the water, dip, let it drip, and then you swirl. Which color did you want? And then barely, 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 ooh. See, the cool thing about the crayon is it's going to reject the paint. So wherever you went hard and waxy with the crayon, it's gonna look really cool. And then you can see all of those textures from the texture plate popping through. All right, I'm done with this blue for now. I might add a little bit up here, maybe a little bit down here, just to kind of keep it even. Ooh, you can see that white popping through. I wanna add a little bit of green, is that okay? Yes, you just need to clean your brush. Dip, let it drip, dry off, clean that brush, dip, let it drip, and then I can go into, yes, you can go into the purple. It's part of the cool color family. And look, it'll blend right in, no worries. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover the whole thing with paint. I'll be right back. Okay, I am all done. I am ready to work on my bridge next time. So when you and your partner are done, make sure you put the paintbrush in the water cup. If your partner's still using it, okay. Close the paint tray. If your partner's still using it, that's okay. Now, paper towel, do we want this? No, so it goes in the trash. Then you're going to take your painting, follow the green arrows, and put it on the drying rack. Should I put it on the top or the bottom? The bottom, people, and then follow the green arrow. If you and your partner are done, you can just take your paint palette and your water cup and head towards the sink. Paint brushes and water cup goes in the sink, and then you can leave your paint palette up here so that it can dry. Just make sure that it's flat and not on its side so it doesn't get all crazy looking. And of course, if you finish, please clean your table, and then the only activity for today is free draw, so no need to rush. Have an amazing day, and I can't wait to see your completed Monet gardens.